Here we have a geometry problem. Okay, let's go the information. So there is a figure given over here, and in the figure above, if AB is parallel to DF, find the value of x. Okay, in the given figure, the line segments AB and DF are parallel, and we have to find the value of x over here. Okay, so here let's consider the triangle ABC. In this triangle, two of the interior angles are given at the vertices B and C, that is 70 degree and 50 degree. Then what is the measure of the interior angle at the vertex A? Already we know that the three interior angles of a triangle will add up to 180 degree. So this is the angle sum property of a triangle. So the two of the interior angles are 70 degree and 50 degree. What must be the measure of the third interior angle over here? So for that, we have to add these two interior angles, 50 degree and 70 degree, so which is equal to 120 degree. It has to be subtracted from 180 degree. When I subtract 120 degree from 180 degree, I am getting 60 degree. So that is the measure of the third interior angle at the vertex A. Now we can verify, that is, we can add these three interior angles, and these three interior angles must add up to 180. So that the angle measure what we got over here is correct. So when I add 60 degree and 70 degree, I am getting 130 degree. When I add 130 degree and 50 degree, I am getting 180 degree. So the three interior angle measures of the triangle ABC add up to 180 degree. Okay, now let's come to the triangle DEF. So we have DEF. So the same thing. So here we have two interior angle measures, 70 degree, 60 degree. And I do not know the measure of the third interior angle. So to get the third interior angle measure, so what I need to do is I have to add the given two interior angle measures, and it has to be subtracted from 180. So when I add 70 degree and 60 degree, I am getting 130 degree. When I subtract 130 degree from 180 degree, I am getting 50 degree. Okay, the third interior angle measure at vertex F is 50 degree. So now we can add these three interior angle measures and verify whether they add up to 180. So when I add 70 and 50, I'm getting 120, 120 plus 60, 180. So the angle measure what I got over here is correct. Okay, now the question says that the line segment AB and the line segment DF are parallel. Then what is the name of the line segment AC? AC is actually AC is called transversal. So whenever two parallel lines intersected by the third line, it's called transversal. And then the angle measure over here, are called corresponding angles. So this angle measure and this angle measure are corresponding angles. So the corresponding angle measures will always be congruent. So since this angle measure is 60 degree and its corresponding angle measure over here also must be 60 degree. Okay, now let's consider the triangle which I mark in red color over here, and also we can name some vertices over here. Already we have the vertices up to F, then we can name this is G and this is H. Okay, now let's consider triangle GFH. In this triangle GFH, we know the two interior angle measures, 50 degree, 60 degree. Then what must be the third interior angle measure? So we have to add the two interior angle measures and subtract from 180. When I add 50 and 60, I'm getting 110. When I subtract 110 degree from 180, I'm getting 70 degree. So the angle measure over here is 70 degree. Okay, and also one more thing we can notice. This is a straight angle. That is the angle on the straight line. Already we know that angle on the straight line measures 180 degree. So this is a part of the angle on the straight line and it measures 70 degree. Then what must be the measure of this particular part? It has to be 110 degree. So how I got this 110 degree? I just subtracted this 70 degree from the straight angle 180. Then I'm getting 110. So if I add these two parts, I'm getting 180. 70 plus 110 equals to 180. So that's the angle on the straight line over here. Okay, now let's consider the triangle FHC. In this triangle, I know all the three interior angle measures, 110 degree, 50 degree, and X. So when I add these interior angle measures, that is X, 110, 50. So these three interior angle measures must add up to 180 degree. So because in any triangle, the three interior angles will always add up to 180. Now we have to solve for X in this equation. So first, let's add these two values, 110, 50. I'm getting 160 equals to 180. So to solve for X, I have to subtract 160 from both sides. So when I subtract 160 from both sides, positive 160, negative 160 will cancel out. I'm getting X on the left side. On the right side, when I subtract this 160 from 180, I'm getting 20. So I have solved for X. The value of X is 20.